Let's go over the cars, let's look at the differences, and I bet you're not going to know all these differences. Be honest with me, comment down below, did you know the differences that I'm going to talk about now? Let's get started.
Now in the video that follows, the audio may be a bit disturbed by the motorway traffic behind us. This is the third time we tried to shoot the video. The footage you can see right now is us trying to do the first take. That didn't go down very well. The heavens just opened and it started to pour. We tried to film in the rain. Wasn't a great idea, so we moved to this location. It was dry later on in the day, but obviously we got a bit of background noise, so you know, this is the best that we could do.
We'll start with the front of the car. The most notable difference, which is an aftermarket factory item, is the front fog lights below. You'll see it's got LED spurs over there, and on my car I just have the round fog lights over there. This is how I tell the difference between the 987 and Gen 1 and Gen 2. The Gen 2 will have the fog lights towards the outside of the front bumper, whereas on the Gen 1 they're normally closer to the number plate. But obviously on the Charlie's car you cannot tell if it's a Gen 1 or Gen 2 from the front because the fog lights have been modified. Saying that, we noticed that the headlights are a different shape, so check this out. Charlie has got xenon headlights. If you look at the shape of the headlights, you will see it's quite wide and it's curved, and we noticed that the front panel is different, and we'll come on to that in a moment. Look at the shape of the headlight. It's quite kind of curved, it's quite curvaceous all around, whereas if you look at the headlight cluster on my Gen 2, I don't have the xenons, but you can see how it's kind of maybe more of a teardrop shape. It's less grounded on the edge, and this is an amazing difference that we didn't spot until just now. If you look at the headlight over there, look at the curve on the panel around the top. You basically see it's effectively an arc over the top of the headlight. If you look at my headlight over here, that is not an arc, that's basically more elongated, so obviously the body panel is different from here. Basically go around that light. And another thing that we noticed, we were looking at the door mirrors. The door mirrors are different on the cars. Let's look at the one on the Gen 2 first. Zoom in close here. If you look at that door mirror, you'll see that it's taller than the one on the Gen 1. So take a good look at that. Coming over to Charlie's car over here, it's definitely not as tall, and it may be wider, or it's the same width, but it's definitely not as tall. I'll do the same thing on the driver's mirror, so it's a like for like. This is the 987 Gen 2. This is the 987 Gen 1. You can see how it's not as tall. Definitely a difference there. Let's take a look at it from what the driver sees. That is it on this side. Not as tall and wide. Coming back to mine over here. There we go. You can see how it's a lot taller. What we noticed with the rear lights, the most notable obvious thing, if you look at where the reversing lights are, mine are down there at the bottom. Go on to Charlie's car. There we go. Basically see that there's a much more bigger part of the light cluster over here, so nice big over here. And one thing we can also see is this panel is different. Because the actual rear light is a different shape, they're not interchangeable between the cars. Look at the shape of this line over there. It's kind of straight over there, comes down here and curves round. That is the rear tail light, how it blends in with the bumper. And if we go to the same one over here, the actual shape of the light is different. And obviously the lines on this panel where it meets the edge, that's different as well. That's quite a sharp angle there. And one thing that Charlie noticed while we were talking about this, look at the lines on the rear brake light, you'll see it tapers down. Flowing line that sort of tapers down over there. We'll go back to the Gen 1. You'll see it's got none of that going on. Look at that. It's just level all the way to the back. So that will obviously mean that the rear bumper cannot be swapped between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2. Even though this is a base Cayman, it's twin exhaust. Charlie's told me this is how it was specified from the factory. So I guess that was an option from the factory. It was I'm not sure if it was a sports exhaust, if it was just a tailpipe difference. That's how the car came from the factory. So once again, very hard to tell it's a base Cayman on the road, because the things that I look for would be the single oval exhaust and the front fog lights where it's closer to the number plate. He doesn't have that because he swapped it out. Even another thing we'll notice, look at the badging over here. The colour of his Cayman badging is kind of in like a off grey, a metallic grey. The badging that I have is in shiny silver, and I'm not sure if that's something to do with matching the interiors of the car. So if we'll go over the interior a bit more when you drive the cars and get them moving, but you'll see he's got a little grey leather on the inside. Charlie's in the process of getting a head unit fitted, so that's a Sony unit in there which he's still having installed at the moment, so just excuse the fitting there. As you can see, the door cards are grey, and I was wondering if because of the choice of the leather and the choice of the door cards, did that influence the colour of the badging at the back. You can basically see on mine, I've got blue leather seats, so you'll see blue leather, the door cards are there to match with that. And so yeah, I'm not too sure if that's why the rear is in silver. This I've actually got in colour white, whereas over here this is body colour. Now it may be linked to an option that I saw on the new 718s. If you look at my instrument cluster has got white dials. Let's go to the instrument cluster on Charlie's car. So the instrument cluster over here has got black dials, and I wonder if it's because of the colour of the dials, does that influence some of the other options you get on the car. And obviously he's got the windscreen wipers, something Charlie told me about. On the older 911s they usually all came with a windscreen wiper. Let me just shut my door because I've got the noise on this. So on the older 911s you normally always got a rear windscreen wiper spec. Charlie's got this spec on his base Cayman, and very few Caymans now have the rear wiper fitted. Let us know in the comments below, do you like a rear wiper on your Cayman or on your 911? Charlie says it's really handy, and it's something often talked about, that the true old classic 911s all had the rear wiper, and it's something that's been lost over time. Let us know your comments below. Those are the differences on these two cars, the 987 Gen 1, the Gen 2. Enjoying life from cars to the max. The weather's been awful today. This is our third take on shooting this video. We're now going to get in the cars. I will talk to you a bit more about the cars from the inside.